cut down into the joint on both sides. Careful not to, if you're trying to keep like skin on, just be careful that you don't poke any holes through the parts where you're going to want that crispy skin in a presentation. Once you have these, pop for the joint. Once that joint is exposed, just follow the carcass down and get in between where that is that you just pop. This is still a little frozen, unfortunately, but I just have to use a little bit of elbow grease and get through so that we have just the bone there. And there is our leg. There's the other. Now we have our two legs with the thighs attached. You could go further and cut through the middle and pop that if you want the thighs attached from the drumstick. And then for the breasticles, you're going to want to go down the middle all along the breastbone, separating the skin but not scoring into the meat. Get all the way to the bottom of that and all the way through the top, at least so that all that skin is separate. Now that you have just the middle, you go down either side of that breastbone, and you can kind of feel along that with the knife, and you just follow the bone down. These are, like I said, a little bit, they didn't thaw out as much as I had hoped, so we might end up with a little bit of a sloppy staircase cut here, but it's going to all be in a soup anyway, so presentation isn't the most important. And just make sure your hand isn't all the way under when you're digging in there, because that's where most kitchen knife accidents happen. Are you have your hands under something, you're going downward, or you don't see your fingers and then knife slips through. And then you have up here the collarbone, same thing. You just go through that joint, push down, and now you have the breast, bone in. Honestly, probably the best way to cook them so they don't get overcooked or dried out. And then I flip it back towards me, same way, following down the other side of the carcass. Again, a little easier when it's not frozen.
Andy said fingers are not part of chicken. Check.
Unless they're chicken fingers.
Yeah, which we already did. Those are separate. Okay, I think the scallion oil is done.
Can you grab me a paper towel?
For your juice. However you want it.
And also, I would highly suggest not doing what I'm doing and cutting frozen chicken, because this is almost a sure way to injure yourself or cut yourself, because you're going to be battling against frozen meat. But if you're in like the 10,000 club of breaking down chickens, I say go for it. You're probably going to be fine. If you haven't done it ever before, make sure your chicken's all the way thawed out before you start. And now we have